So, have you ever asked yourself, how do I use this sewing machine? Well, this is the class to come and actually focus on that, because we will be learning in detail how to use these machines. Hey, Shiri Say. So today we're coming back into a series, and this is class 2 of the series. We will be talking about thread and sewing machines. So with this class, we will be focusing more on the type of thread you will need to actually use your machine. Depending on whatever type of machine that you have, it really doesn't matter as to what kind of thread you go for. It has to be polycotton. These machines come in different brands and different little buttons and all these styles. Well, the machine does the same thing. Depends on which brand you go for. Some brands definitely have a more detailed type of use. Some have a more computerized version. Some are just basic. But what you need to know is how to switch it on and how to actually stitch. As long as you know how to turn it on and make it move, you're good to go. Alright, so today we're going to be learning more about how to make the machine work. If you're still watching, let's jump right in. So this one has a handle up here which allows me to carry it, and you can still access the handle when the cover is on it. It also comes with a foot and a cord, which is your power cable. These machines usually come with different faces. Some have more stitches around there, some have a bigger screen to work with, and some have more buttons going on around there. This cord, put this cord on the side of my machine. Over there. This also goes on the side, and that's my on button. And voila! It is on. This type of machine comes with 18 stitches. So if you look here, this is where you find your stitching options. This is for your straight stitch, that is for your zigzag, and this is for your buttonhole stitch. So with these stitches, instead of going down to these options, you can simply just pick a stitch quickly over there. These 3 buttons show you the different stitches that you want. This is how you move from any stitch to the other, and that is the button you use to adjust your, if it's a zigzag stitch, this is the button that you use to adjust the width of your stitch, to adjust the length of your zigzag stitch. This is your stitching section where you choose what kind of stitch you want. This button is for speed. So if you're a beginner and you are not so sure of your stitching skills, these machines come with a speed moderator, which allows you to stitch at a very slow snail-like motion, allowing you to learn at your pace. And they also have the fast one, which allows you to move a bit faster when you've gained your confidence. So do not be afraid of the electronic machine, because it does give you options of slowing it down or making it faster. Next, we have our reverse stitch button, which allows you to go back and forth when you're stitching. When you are starting a seam and when you're finishing a seam, you usually use this button. Those are the major buttons that you need to know. Now I'm going to show you how to thread this machine. So if you look at my machine, it has more or less dummy-proof threading, where it shows you that your thread should come from number 1, it goes down to number 2, it comes back up to number 3, and then it takes you back down to number 4, and so on and so forth. Just because I need you to catch this and to learn this as best as possible, I will be threading this machine so that you can see how I do it on my machine. So I'm going to be using my black thread so that we have a bit of a contrast from the white machine, so that you can see the thread as it goes through. Put it through here. And then I'm going to take it over here, bring it down to number 2, and then after number 2, bring it up to number 3. Make sure it goes into that crack. Bring it around the silver head. See that? It says bring it around, and then take it back down. And then it comes into that little silver hook. Now you can thread it into your needle. My machine comes with a threading guide or a threading assistant, which allows me to just pull my thread, put it through this little hook, put it over there, bring it in front of my needle, and let go. And there you go. I've just threaded my needle. So that's very easy. But if you don't have that thread guide thingy on your machine, don't worry. Just do the old school thing of threading the needle yourself. So after my thread has gone through my needle, what I need to do is to use my foot lever. My machine has a foot lever, which is back here. So there, if you can see it, that black one. So I just lift that up, put my thread in between my foot and pull it to the back. And that's it. So now we're gonna look at the bobbin. So according to my bobbin, my thread has to come from there into the nook and out. I need to make sure that when I pull my thread, it's going anti-clockwise according to this cover. So we're gonna pop it open, take it out. So as you can see, I'll put that in. As you can see, my thread is going this way. So what I need to do is to pop it in there, into that nook over there, pull it backwards, and then out this way. So I'm going to hold on to my top thread and wind my machine. And voila. So you can use a pin or anything just to slide that out, and use your snippers to cut that excess thread. And you can close up your lid, making sure you start with those ones. Put those back first and then press that down. And that's it for your bobbin. Put it up here, and then you take your thread, put it around this little button, bring it to your bobbin and wind it clockwise like that. Okay, and that's it. Snip off the excess, push this knob to the side, use your foot to wind. And that's how you wind your bobbin. Very easy. Make sure that before you wind, you have to push this to the side. If you don't push it and you try and wind it, it won't work, but your machine will start stitching instead. So always make sure you push that to the side. That way you can actually use it to wind. Okay? And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of the machine. However, it is a good starting point. Please don't think that I swear you to go for a certain brand or a certain type of machine. You know what you can afford. It doesn't have to be a brand new machine. You can buy a second-hand machine. You can borrow a machine just to get your bills going. I hope you will continue watching as we go to class 3. And in class 3, we will be learning more about actually using the machine. If you need me to explain anything more, please don't feel embarrassed to ask any questions. Please subscribe, please share. I would love to see what you have to say about these videos, to see what you think about these tutorials, because if I'm teaching, you need to give me feedback so that I teach better, so that I show you more things and make you understand even better. And thank you so much for watching.